Simple health advice for older adults. Why some people stay healthy longer than others. Have you ever noticed that some older people seem to fade away around age 80, even when they looked healthy before? It's often not because of heart problems or cancer. There's something else that many doctors don't talk about much. I'm Dr. James. I've been helping older adults stay healthy for over 30 years. Through my work with thousands of patients, I've learned something important. One of the best ways to stay healthy as you age isn't about blood pressure or cholesterol. It's about something many older people stop doing because they feel embarrassed or think it's wrong. Today, I want to share what I've learned about staying strong and healthy well into your 80s and 90s. The good news, you don't need expensive medicine or hard workouts. You already have what you need. The problem many older adults face. When I talk with my older patients, I often see sadness in their eyes. They feel like life has become smaller and less connected. One of the biggest problems I see is that people slowly disconnect from their own bodies and stop enjoying physical touch and pleasure. Society tells us a harmful lie that intimacy and physical pleasure are only for young people. Many older adults believe this and think that wanting or enjoying physical pleasure is wrong or no longer possible. Some pull away because their bodies have changed. Others do it because of emotional pain or loss. This disconnection starts a harmful cycle. Without regular physical stimulation, blood flow to important body parts gets worse. The brain pathways connected to pleasure start to weaken. Hormones get out of balance. Slowly, the body loses strength, not just sexually, but mentally and physically too. Sleep gets worse, mood drops, energy fades, even the immune system gets weaker, making chronic diseases more likely. I've seen this happen many times. Once lively men and women slowly lose their spark, not because their hearts failed, but because they neglected an important part of staying healthy. Physical pleasure and intimacy with yourself or with another person is one of the main pillars of staying healthy. Giving it up doesn't just steal joy, it can steal years from your life. But there is hope. Reconnecting with your body and rediscovering forgotten feelings can start a deep healing process. It's never too late to discover what your body can still do for you. Why physical self-care after 60 is important for long life. For many years, I watched amazing changes happen in patients who stayed connected to their bodies as they aged. One thing became very clear. Keeping physical pleasure in your life, including taking care of your own sexual needs, wasn't just nice to have, it was crucial for lasting health and long life. This might surprise you, especially if you grew up thinking these topics were embarrassing or wrong, but our bodies tell a different story than what society taught us. After 60, the body naturally has less circulation, fewer hormones, weaker muscles, and slower brain function. But regular sexual activity, even by yourself, has been shown to fight many of these problems. When an older person engages in sexual activity, even alone, the body responds in amazing ways. Blood flows better to the brain, heart, and other body parts, feeding tissues that might otherwise start to break down. Feel-good chemicals flood the body, naturally lowering stress and helping with sleep. Hormone levels rise a bit, helping keep muscles strong, bones dense, and emotions stable. The brain gets stimulated in multiple areas at once, keeping memory sharp and thinking clear. Studies show that sexual pleasure uses many parts of the brain at the same time, keeping the pathways healthy that control memory, emotions, and decision-making. Simply put, it keeps the brain young and active. Beyond the physical benefits, there's something deeper happening. Taking care of your sexual needs after 60 is a way of saying that your body is still worth caring for and giving pleasure to. It fights against the harmful idea that aging means fading away. Instead, it reminds you that life can still be felt fully and personally. When patients ask me if it's too late to wake up this part of their lives, I tell them gently but clearly, it's never too late. Your body may need more time, more patience, and a gentler touch, but it can still feel deep, nourishing sensations that fuel your spirit and help you live longer than you might expect. Wrong ideas that hurt older adults' health. Through my years of practice, I've seen how easily strong, healthy men and women fall for wrong ideas that slowly chip away at their vitality. Often, they don't even realize it's happening until they wake up feeling like a shadow of who they used to be. One of the saddest wrong ideas is that after a certain age, physical pleasure just doesn't matter anymore. I can't count how many times I've heard someone say, "I'm too old for that," with a sad smile. But the truth is, age doesn't erase your body's ability or need for intimacy and touch. It just changes how that need is expressed. Giving up on this part of yourself is like choosing to live in a house but never turning on the lights. Another painful belief is that seeking pleasure alone is somehow shameful. Many grew up when self-pleasure was whispered about with embarrassment or treated as morally wrong. Those old messages can sink deep and create guilt that lasts even into later life. But let me say this clearly: caring for your own body is not shameful. It's an essential way of honoring your life, your health, and your spirit. There's also the dangerous myth that saving sexual energy will somehow preserve strength. Actually, it's the opposite. Regular sexual activity, including by yourself, fuels the body's systems, boosting hormones, keeping blood flowing, and preserving tissue health. Like a muscle that gets weaker without use, the parts of us responsible for pleasure need regular use to stay alive and healthy. Perhaps the most damaging wrong idea is believing that sexual health is separate from overall health. They're deeply connected. When you take care of one, you take care of the other. When you neglect one, both suffer. A simple method to reconnect with your body. When I first started helping older patients reconnect with their bodies, I realized many needed more than just encouragement. They needed a clear plan. That's how I created a simple step-by-step method designed for the aging body. Step 1, get ready. Create a space where you feel safe and comfortable. Set the temperature right, choose a comfortable chair or bed, and have good lubricant available. These small acts send a powerful message to your body. You matter, and your health is worth the effort. Step 2, relax. This isn't a race or a chore. Start by breathing deeply and letting your muscles soften. Feel tension leave your body piece by piece. This simple act of being present can open doors to sensation you may have thought were closed forever. Step 3, gentle exploration. Gently touch areas of your body you may have ignored for years. Inner thighs, lower belly, chest. Touch these places lightly with curiosity instead of judgment. Notice how your body responds, even in small ways. These responses are signs that your body is still alive and eager to connect with you. Step 4, focus touch. With no pressure or expectations, gradually use more direct touch, allowing arousal to build naturally in its own time. Use slow, mindful movements instead of rushing. It's not about reaching a finish line, it's about enjoying the journey your body can take you on. Step 5, appreciate the experience. Pause, breathe, and thank yourself for choosing to invest in your own well-being. Let yourself enjoy the feeling of being alive, no matter how subtle or intense it may be. In this quiet appreciation, healing takes root. This method isn't about trying to go back to the past. It's about embracing who you are right now with all the wisdom and strength that come with your years. Overcoming common problems. Real change is rarely a straight line. It's natural to have moments of doubt or frustration. Here are the most common problems and how to handle them. Unrealistic expectations. Many older adults think they should immediately feel like they did in their 20s. Your body has changed, and that's normal, not a failure. Success now is measured by how much you reconnect with sensation and comfort, not by intensity. Even small improvements mean healing is happening. Not being consistent. Like strengthening a muscle, rebuilding your sensual connection needs regular attention. Set aside time 2 or 3 times a week, not as a duty, but as an act of self-respect. Pressure to perform. Focusing too much on achieving a certain result creates stress. Let go of the idea that every session must end a certain way. Embrace the process. Any feelings of pleasure are victories to celebrate. Shame. Many people carry old feelings that whisper, "This isn't right," or "I shouldn't need this." If that voice comes up, meet it with compassion. Remind yourself that seeking pleasure isn't selfish. It's part of honoring your body, your right to stay healthy and happy. As we finish this conversation, I want to leave you with this truth. Your body, your health, and your right to experience pleasure don't expire with age. They change, but they don't disappear. Reclaiming this part of yourself isn't about trying to be young again. It's about honoring the life you still have, the strength that has carried you through decades, and the spirit that refuses to give up. I've seen men and women in their 60s, 70s, even 80s reignite a spark they thought was lost forever. And with it, they found renewed health, confidence, and joy. It starts with one choice, believing that you're still capable, still deserving, still fully alive. Start small, stay patient, be gentle with yourself, and remember, every step you take toward reconnecting with your body is a step toward a future filled not just with more years, but with more life in every year. Your story is still being written. Choose today to write it with strength, dignity, and the fullness you were meant to enjoy.